Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's men's national championship game in college basketball. Go over the way too early top 25 for college basketball next season. I'll give you guys my top 10 games from this year's NCAA tournament. I will go over what went on last night in the NHL and go over tonight's slate. Go over today's NBA slate, as well as go over last night's Major League Baseball action and look ahead to today's slate. All right, Villanova is your national champion. They defeated the Michigan Wolverines 79-62. I had Villanova on the podcast. I was correct. The MVP of the tournament, Dante DiVincenzo, the sixth man for Villanova, put up 31 points and 3 assists in the win. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman put up 23 points in defeat, as the Wildcats are champions for the second time in 3 seasons. Jay Wright is one of the elite coaches in college basketball now. My way too early top 25 for next season. This is my personal rankings. Number 1, the Duke Blue Devils. They have a ton of talent coming in next season. They have a ton of star power coming in with the likes of R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, and Cam Reddish. Those are all McDonald's All-American type of players. Trey Jones is coming in. They are losing some key players like Marvin Bagley and Gary Trent and Wendell Carter and Trevon Duval and Grayson Allen. But the new core is coming in, and I expect them to do big things next season. Number 2, the Kansas Jayhawks. They have a ton of people coming back, such as Malik Newman, KJ Lawson's coming in, and Dedrick Lawson and Charlie Moore. They do lose Devontae Graham, but this Kansas team is loaded for next year, so look out. Number 3, your new champion Villanova Wildcats. They're right there with Duke and Kansas in my mind. Let's see if Jalen Brunson comes back. Mikal Bridges is off to the NBA. Omari Spellman, Dante DiVincenzo, Eric Paschall, and Phil Booth are all coming back. Javon Quinterly, the 5-star point guard who originally committed to Arizona, is coming. And let's make sure he's not related to the FBI investigation with Arizona. Number 4, this is a little high, and some people may disagree with me here, but the Michigan State Spartans. Tom Izzo's team has managed turnover very well through the years. They're not going to have Jaren Jackson Jr. or Miles Bridges as they go to the NBA. Marcus Bingham, Xavier Tillman, and Kenny Goins are going to be a part of this team, and they're going to form a strong front court. Cassius Winston, a guard, will be back. Nick Ward might come back. Number 5, the North Carolina Tar Heels. They have some key pieces coming back, such as Luke May. Cameron Johnson might be back. Kenny Williams is coming back. Kobe White's coming in. Nasir Little, who just earned the MVP honors in the McDonald's All-American game, is going to be on campus. So the Tar Heels should be a contender in the ACC again next season. Number 6, the Kentucky Wildcats, who will lose Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Kevin Knox. But there are 2 big top 5 recruiting pieces led by Keldon Johnson and Emmanuel Quickley, as the Wildcats should be the favorites in the SEC next season after having somewhat of a down year this year. Number 7, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, who should be considered the top 10 program right now in the nation. Killian Tilly's coming back. Zach Norwell's coming back. Rui Hachimura's coming back, possibly. Josh Perkins is coming back. and they have a transfer coming in, Brandon Clark. So the Bulldogs are a very intriguing team. Number 8, arguably the biggest surprise in college basketball this season, the Auburn Tigers, who are losing nobody. Fernie McLemore, who is missing in the NCAA tournament, will be back. Bryce Brown's coming back. Mustafa Haran's coming back. They have Samir Dowdy coming in as a transfer. Austin Wiley's coming in, and Daniel Purfoy is coming in as your newcomers. Number 9, the Virginia Cavaliers. They had a great year last year, except they lost to UMBC, as they were the first team to lose as a 1 seed to a 16 seed. The key here is that they have Kyle Guy and DeAndre Hunter coming back. Kihei Clark and Cody Statman are coming in. They do lose Isaiah Wilkins and Devin Hall, though, but the Cavaliers should be a top 3 team in the ACC again. My number 10 team, the Tennessee Volunteers, who are the other surprise team in the SEC this season. They have some key pieces coming out, such as SEC Player of the Year, Grant Williams. The key here for the Vols is that they don't lose anybody. Jordan Bowen's coming back. Admiral Schoenfield's coming back. Rick Barnes has done a great job this past season, and he is basically his team coming back, so expect them to be good. Number 11, this is a bit of a generous ranking, but the Oregon Ducks. They had a down year last year after making the Final Four 2 seasons ago. They're going to be back as a contender this year, led by 5-star recruit Ball. And they also have another 5-star recruit coming in, Lewis King, who's a wing guy. They do lose Elijah Brown and Mekhi McIntosh, but they're going to be better than last year. Troy Brown's coming back. Expect them to be perhaps the Pac-12 favorite, with Arizona headed for a down year. All right, number 12, your runners-up, the Michigan Wolverines. This is probably too low of a ranking considering that they were just in the title game, but the reason is that they have some key losses such as Moritz Wagner, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, and Duncan Robinson. They have Jordan Poole coming back, as well as Charlie Matthews and Xavier Simpson, who will be fine perimeter players for them. Newcomers include Brandon Johns, Ignas Radzikius, and David DeHeliu. Number 13, this is a bit of a generous ranking, as well as they have a new coach in Chris Mack, the Louisville Cardinals. The key here is that they have some of their best players coming back in Dan Goodell and Ray Spalding and VJ King. Steve Enoch is coming in. Their key losses are only Quentin Snyder and Anas Muhammad. They'll miss Snyder and his gritty play, but this team I expect to be better than people think next season, with an elite coach in Mack, who Xavier will sorely miss. Number 14, that's Kansas State Wildcat. No, this is not an overreaction to the Wildcats' appearance in the Elite Eight. This is just simply because they're not losing any key players. They have a good coach and Bruce Weber. The key guys that are coming back are Barry Brown, Xavier Sneed, and Dean Wade. And don't forget, Dean Wade wasn't healthy in the tournament, and the Wildcats still made the Elite Eight. Sean Williams is a newcomer, and this team should be one of the better teams in the Big 12. Number 15, a bit of a generous ranking, but the Florida State Seminoles. Here you have a team that is coming off a surprise Elite Eight appearance as well. They do lose Brian Angola and Phil Kofer, but Trent Forrest, MJ Walker are back. They have some key newcomers in Raekwon Gray and Anthony Polite. Leonard Hamilton's team should be good again next season. Number 16, the Syracuse Orange. If Tyus Battle declares for the draft, Syracuse wouldn't be on this list, but it looks like he's coming back to school as of right now. If he declares for the draft, I might do the top 25 again after the draft to make sure any pieces are coming back. But who knows, maybe Syracuse isn't on this list when I do it in a couple months from now. But Battle's in. They have some key newcomers in Buddy Boeheim, Jalen Carey, and Elijah Hughes. And Hughes is a transfer. The only key loss is Matthew Moyer. They also have Frank Howard and O'Shea Brissett coming back. Those are two key players for them this past season. Number 17 is the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who are coming off an NIT final appearance, who I expect to be better, with the returnees of Nick Weatherspoon and Quindary Weatherspoon. They have no key losses, which is key for them. DJ Stewart, Robert Woodard, and Reggie Perry are your key newcomers. And this should be one of the better teams in the SEC next season for Ben Howland's team. Number 18 is the TCU Horned Frogs, who are coming off a round of 64 loss to Syracuse. They do have some key losses in Vlad Brodzianski, Ahmed Hamdi, and Kendrick Williams. But they have their best player coming back in Jalen Fisher, who missed the end of last season with the injury. Alex Robinson's coming back. Jamie Dixon has a good team coming back. So I expect them to be one of the better teams in the Big 12. Number 19, this is too low. I'll admit it right now. The West Virginia Mountaineers. I think this ranking's a little low for me. But maybe I'm overreacting to the backcourt that provided the identity of Press Virginia, of Javon Carter and Dexter Miles Jr. graduating. But they do have a chunk of their team coming back. Those are the two guys I just mentioned are the two key losses. Issa Lamonte West and Sagaba Kanate will be back, as well as James Bolden and Wes Harris. They have this point guard duo coming in of Brandon Napper and Jordan McCabe. One of those will be the starting point guard in place of Javon Carter. So expect Bob Huggins' team to be in the mix yet again. Number 20, the UCLA Bruins, who I like coming into next season. They have some good recruits coming in. I expect them to be a top 3 team in the Pac-12 and take advantage of no Arizona, as they have some key guys returning, such as Chris Wilkes and Jalen Hands, who were decent players for them last season. They have Cody Riley and Jalen Hill coming in, who sat out last season after being caught shoplifting in China. And Steve Alford also has a new big recruit, Moses Brown, and another one in Sharif O'Neal, who is the son of Shaq. Number 21, the Nevada Wolfpack, who are coming off a surprising Sweet 16 appearance. I probably underranked them, but they have their core of Caleb Martin, Cody Martin, and Jordan Caroline back. And they should be mentioned among the top 25 teams for next season. And Eric Musselman is emerged as a coach that is probably going to end up with a bigger job someday. Number 22, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Remy Martin's coming back. Romello White's coming back. They do lose Trey Holder and Shannon Evans and Cody Justice. But Bobby Hurley's team had one heck of a year last year. They have some solid recruits coming in Xylon Cheatham, Rob Edwards, Legence Dort, and Tayshaun Cherry. I expect them to be better next season. Number 23, this ranking might be a little low, but the Virginia Tech Hokies. Buzz Williams has a solid team coming back. Justin Robinson's back. Kerry Blackshear's back. Chris Clark's back. Ahmad Hill back. And Nikhil Alexander Walker back. They do lose Justin Bibbs and Devin Wilson. They have some newcomers coming in: Landers Noli, John Cabagno, and Kadeem Sai, as they should be top 25 team next season. Number 24, the Washington Huskies, who were in the mix for the at-large spot, but had fallen off due to some disappointing losses towards the end of the season. They don't lose anybody key. Sam Timmons is back. Noah Dickerson is back. David Cripps is back. Jalen Noel's back. Jamal Bay, Elijah Hardy, Ed Chang, and Nate Roberts headlines the key newcomers for the Huskies. And number 25, the Maryland Terrapins. This is a pretty high ranking for them, in my opinion. And this is banking on Bruno Fernando coming back. If he doesn't come back, they're not a top 25 team. Jalen Smith is a key newcomer that's coming in, as well as Aaron Wiggins and Eric Elia. Anthony Cohen's back. Darryl Marcel is back. Kevin Herter's back for the Terrapins as well. Honorable mentions, I have a couple. Clemson, Cincinnati, Texas Tech. I have to throw Xavier in because they have some key guys coming back. Miami, Penn State, LSU, Butler, Nebraska, Florida, USC, Wichita State, Purdue, Alabama, Boston College, and Baylor as your honorable mentions, and all have arguments to be in there. I'm going to go over my top 10 NCAA tournament games. This is just a fun exercise for the podcast. Number 10, West Virginia, Villanova. That was a fun game. That was the game where the final score didn't indicate how close that game really was. West Virginia had a chance in that game, but Villanova just kept hitting shot after shot after shot. Sagaba Kanate had a one shiny moment with the block on Mikal Bridges in that game, as that game was among the tournament's more entertaining games. Number 9 has to be mentioned. The biggest upset in the history of the NCAA tournament, the one that everyone's going to remember forever. UMBC, Virginia, as when the Cavaliers were the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed in the UMBC River Treers. It will always be remembered, so it had to be on there. Number 8, UNC Greensboro, Gonzaga. Zach Norwell hit the go-ahead three-pointer for the Bulldogs with 20.8 left, as the UNC Greensboro Spartans almost pulled off a monster upset over the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Number 7, Texas, Nevada. This was an overtime game. Caleb Martin hit 2 key threes for the Wolfpack to get them out of the first round. Number 6, Oklahoma, Rhode Island. E.C. Matthews hit 2 critical three-pointers in overtime, as the Rams almost won this game in regulation. This happened to be Dan Hurley's final game coaching the Rams, as he has moved on to the UConn Huskies. And this was also Trae Young's final collegiate game. Number 5, Duke, Kansas. This was a classic overtime game. Malik Newman was tremendous in that game. He had some big three-pointers. Sidoslav Milichuk had the big tying 3 for the Jayhawks in this game to force overtime. And then Grayson Allen almost had the buzzer beater, but it rolled off the rim. And that's how lucky Kansas was, because if that shot goes in, Duke's probably playing in a national championship game against Michigan, or they probably lose to Villanova in the Final Four. Number 4, Nevada over Cincinnati. The Wolfpack coming back from 22 points down with 11 minutes left. The comeback to stun the Bearcats in regulation, as the Martins led the way there. Number 3, Houston, Michigan. Jordan Poole at the buzzer beater after the Cougars missed 2 critical free throws, as the Wolverines, if they don't hit that shot, they're not in the national championship game. Maybe we're talking about Loyola Chicago in the national final. That would have been something, man. And speaking of Loyola Chicago, number 2, the Ramblers over the Miami Hurricanes, round of 64. Dante Ingram's game-winning shot with 0.4 seconds left. And that's how close Miami was to advancing. And number 1, keep it going with Sister Jean, Loyola Chicago over Tennessee. Clayton Custer's game-winning three-pointer with 3.6 seconds left. The Health Sister Jean and the Ramblers move on to the Sweet 16. Those are my top 10 games from the NCAA tournament. I'm going to do a baseball recap real quick, as there's going to be a game getting underway in a couple minutes, so I want to wrap this one up quick. The Pirates defeated the Twins 5-4 as they improved to 4-0. The Twins dropped the 2-2. Colin Moran hit a grand slam in this game. Jamison Time with the win. Lance Lynn takes the loss in his Twins debut. Gave up 5 runs in the first inning. And George Contos with the save. The Pirates scoring only came in the bottom of the first inning. RBI double by Gregory Polanco, 1-0. Colin Moran's grand slam made it 5-0. And here come the Twins to make it interesting. Top of the 6th, Brian Dozier home run, 5-1. Joe Mauer scores on a wild pitch by Edgar Santana. That makes it 5-2. RBI double, Eduardo Escobar, 5-3. And RBI double by Max Kepler made it 5-4. That was the final. The Tigers defeated the Royals 6-1. The Tigers improved to 1-3. Royals 0-3. Francisco Liriano with the win. Jason Hamill with the loss. The Royals actually scored first, top of the 3rd inning. Drew Butera sacrifice fly to center. Drives in Alcides Escobar. Bottom of the 3rd. Miguel Cabrera RBI single, 1-1. Bottom of the 5th. RBI single, Nick Castellanos makes it 2-1. Bottom of the 5th. Victor Martinez, 2-run single, 4-1. Bottom of the 5th. RBI ground out by James McCann, 5-1. And bottom of the 7th. Sacrifice fly, Victor Martinez, 6-1 final. The Cardinals defeated the Brewers 8-4. The Cardinals improved to 2-2. Milwaukee suffers their first loss of the year. They're 3-1. Miles McCullough with the win. Zach Davies with the loss. Milwaukee actually scored first in the bottom of the 2nd on a home run by Manny Pena to make it 1-0 Milwaukee. Top of the 3rd, RBI double, Jed Jerko, 1-1. Also in the top of the 3rd, RBI single, Dexter Fowler makes it 2-1. Bottom of the 3rd, Lorenzo Cain home run, 2-2. Top of the 5th, Miles McCullough home run, 4-2 Cardinals. Yes, Miles McCullough, the starting pitcher, hit a home run. So that was your first home run by a pitcher this season. As I like to say, hashtag pitchers who rake. Top of the 6th, sacrifice fly, Jose Martinez, 5-2 Cardinals. Also on the top of the 6th, a 3-run home run by Paul DeHong, 8-2 Cardinals. Bottom of the 6th, 2-run home run, Eric Thames, 8-4. And that was the final score. The Reds defeated the Cubs 1-0. Tyler Mahle with the win. Tyler Chatwood with the loss. Raisel Iglesias with the save. The lone run in this game was an RBI ground out by Adam Duvall that scored in Eugenio Suarez. Tyler Chatwood pitched okay in his Cubs debut. Tyler Mahle off to a fine start for the Reds this season. The Astros defeated the Orioles 6-1 as they improved to 4-1. Baltimore drops to 1-3. Charlie Morton with the win. Chris Tillman with the loss. Houston got it going right away. Bottom of the 1st, RBI double by Alex Bregman to make it 1-0. Bottom of the 4th, home run Marvin Gonzalez, 2-0. Bottom of the 4th, RBI triple by Derek Fisher, 3-0. Bottom of the 4th as well. RBI single, George Springer, 4-0. Bottom of the 6th, RBI double by Jose Altuve, 5-0. Bottom of the 7th, sacrifice fly, Derek Fisher, 6-0. Top of the 9th is when the Orioles got their lone run. Trey Mancini hit the home run off of Colin McHugh to make it 6-1. That was the final. The Blue Jays defeated the White Sox 4-2 as they improved to 3-2. The White Sox suffered their first loss of the season. They're now 2-1. The win, Seung-Hwan Oh. The loss, Danny Farquhar. Roberto Osuna with the save. Top of the 4th, the White Sox actually scored first on a home run by Wellington Castillo, 1-0 White Sox. Bottom of the 6th, Josh Donaldson home run, 1-1. Top of the 7th, another home run by Wellington Castillo. As that put the White Sox up 2-1. Bottom of the 7th, Russell Martin with the go-ahead home run to make it 3-2. In the bottom of the 8th, Edlemis Diaz home run 4-2. That's your final. The Red Sox beat the Marlins 7-3 as they improve to 4-1. Miami drops to 2-3. Brian Johnson with the win. Trevor Richards with the loss. The Marlins actually scored first in the bottom of the 2nd on a home run by Brian Anderson to make it 1-0. Top of the 4th, Eduardo Nunez RBI double 1-1. Top of the 4th as well, Christian Vasquez 2-run double 3-1 Red Sox. Top of the 5th, 2-run home run by Hanley Ramirez to make it 5-1. Top of the 7th, Mookie Betts home run 6-0 Red Sox. Bottom of the 8th, RBI single by Cameron Maybin to make it 6-2. Top of the 9th, RBI double by Rafael Devers to make it 7-2. Bottom of the 9th, RBI ground out by Starlin Castro. That's your 7-3 final. The Nationals defeated the Braves 8-1 to remain unbeaten. They are 4-0. The Braves are 2-2. Tanner Roark with the win. Sean Newcomb with the loss. Washington got it going right away in the top of the 1st inning. RBI ground out Anthony Rendon 1-0 Nats. Top of the 1st as well, Howie Kendrick RBI double 2-0 Nats. Top of the 2nd, Bryce Harper 3-run home run 5-0 Washington. Bottom of the 4th, RBI single Freddie Freeman. Top of the 5th, Pedro Severino infield single 6-1. And then in the top of the 9th, RBI single that scored in 2 by Brian Goodwin. Tanner Roark had a nice game, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts for the Nats as well, as they look like, them and the Astros look like the 2 best teams right now. A great game in the desert as the Diamondbacks defeat the Dodgers 8-7 in 15 innings. The Diamondbacks are 3-1. The Dodgers are 2-3. Kenley Jansen blows the save. He responds, "Who cares? It's one game." Fernando Salas with the win. Wilmer Font with the loss. The Dodgers got it going first. Top of the 1st, RBI single Corey Seager, 1-0 Dodgers. Also in the top of the 1st, home run Yasmani Grandal, 3-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 1st, RBI double by A.J. Pollock, 3-1. Bottom of the 3rd, bases loaded walk by Jake Lamb, 3-2. Bottom of the 4th, RBI triple by Ketel Marte, 3-3. Top of the 6th, Logan Forsythe home run, 4-3. The top of the 7th, Cody Bellinger RBI single, 5-3 Dodgers. Top of the 8th, RBI single Jock Peterson, 6-3 Dodgers. Bottom of the 9th, Chris Owings 3-run home run to make it 6-6 off of Kenley Jansen. Top of the 15th, RBI single Chase Utley to make it 7-6. Bottom of the 15th, Nick Ahmed doubled deep to center to score, and Jake Lamb to tie it up at 7 apiece. And the game-winning hit by Jeff Mathis, the walk-off single to score in Nick Ahmed that makes the Diamondbacks an 8-7 winner. This is easily the game of the year so far in Major League Baseball. The Athletics beat the Rangers 3-1 to improve to 2-3. The Rangers are 1-4. Chris Hatcher with the win. Kevin Jepson with the loss. Blake Trehan with the save. Bartolo Colon started the game for the Rangers, actually pitched pretty well. Bottom of the 3rd, Matt Chapman home run, 1-0 Athletics. Top of the 5th, RBI single Joey Gallo, 1-1. Bottom of the 7th, 2-run double by Jed Lowry, 3-1 Athletics. That was your scoring. The Indians defeated the Angels 6-0 in the Angels home opener. I had the Indians on the podcast. I was correct. And I also had the Astros with the 2 ESPN games. As the Indians even up their record at 2-2, the Angels dropped the 3-2. Mike Clevenger with the win. J.C. Ramirez with the loss. Top of the 2nd, an inside the park home run for Edwin Encarnacion to make it 1-0 Cleveland. Top of the 3rd, bases loaded walk by Francisco Lindor. Yonder Alonso homered in the top of the 4th to make it 3-0 Cleveland. Top of the 4th, Tyler Naquin home run, 5-0 Cleveland. And so that was a 2-run shot. In the top of the 8th, RBI double by Brandon Guyer to make it 6-0 final. The Rockies defeated the Padres 7-4 to improve to 2-2. The Padres are 0-4. Chad Bettis with the win. Brian Mitchell with the loss. Wade Davis with the save. Top of the first inning, sacrifice fly, Nolan Arenado, 1-0 Colorado. Bottom of the first, Will Myers' first home run of the year to make it 1-1. Top of the third, RBI single by Carlos Gonzalez, 2-1 Rockies. Top of the third, RBI double Ian Desmond, 3-1 Rockies. Bottom of the third, RBI double by Carlos Asuaje to make it 3-2. Top of the fifth, Ian Desmond, 2-run home run, 5-2 Rockies. Top of the ninth, another home run by Charlie Blackmon, his fourth of the year, 6-2 Rockies. Top of the ninth, DJ LeMahieu, second homer of the year, 7-2 Rockies. Bottom of the ninth, Cody Spangenberg, home run, 7-3. Bottom of the ninth, RBI triple, Jose Perella, 7-4, as the Padres made it interesting. In the bottom of the ninth, they are now 0-4. The two games that were postponed from yesterday, Rays-Yankees, they're making it up this afternoon. I'll pick the game on the podcast. It's coming up since it's an ESPN game. And the Phillies and the Mets was postponed. The makeup date is July 9th, as they'll play a single admission doubleheader on that day. Today's slate of games about to be underway in a couple of moments. Royals-Tigers. Jacob Junis against Matthew Boyd as the Royals search for their first win. 4 o'clock on ESPN, Rays, Yankees, the home opener for what many people believe is the best team in the American League this season. You have Jordan Montgomery pitching for New York and Chris Archer pitching for Tampa Bay. As this is Giancarlo Stanton's first home game as a Yankee, I think the stadium's going to be rocking. Chris Archer's had success against the Yankees in the past, but not over the past 2 seasons. Chris Archer was okay in the opener, actually pitched decently, but that crowd and those players are happy to be home, as I expect the Yankees to win their home opener and to bump their record up to 3-2. I don't think Archer will pitch poorly, but I don't think he'll be great either. I like Jordan Montgomery. I think he's very underrated. I think many people in the media and fans are sleeping on him. He had a solid year last year as he was a top 10 finisher in the Rookie of the Year. He pitched well at home for the most part, and I like the Yankees today to win their home opener. You have the Mariners and the Giants going today with Marco Gonzalez and Ty Blach on the hill. Blach pitched extremely well for the Giants in their opener. He's 1-0 with a 0 ERA with 3 strikeouts with a whip of 1.2. And by the way, Chris Archer's numbers, he has a 6 ERA, 6 strikeouts on the year, 1.17 whip, and he has a no decision because Tampa Bay came back and won that game against the Red Sox in their opener. And speaking of the Red Sox, they're in Miami to take on the Marlins. You have Chris Sale against Jose Urena. Sale got a no decision in his first game. He has a 0 ERA, 9 strikeouts with a .67 whip. Urena is 0-1 with an ERA of 11.25. 2 strikeouts on the year with a whip of 2.5. He did not have a good showing in the opener against the Cubs. Speaking of the Cubs, they're at the Reds again, looking to even their record at 3-3. You have John Lester going for the Cubs and Cody Reed going for Cincinnati. Lester had a no decision in the opener. 8.1 ERA, 2 strikeouts and the whip of 3. Those are ugly numbers as he did not have a good showing in the opener. He looks to bounce back here against the Reds. The White Sox at the Blue Jays. You have Miguel Gonzalez going up against J.A. Happ. This is Gonzalez's first start of the year. J.A. Happ pitched okay in the opener, 0-1, 3.86 ERA with 5 strikeouts with a whip of 1.07. But that opener was against that good Yankees team. And he didn't pitch poorly, but he couldn't get Giancarlo Stanton out. So that's what pretty much cost him the game. Although I said on the podcast on Friday that he was helped by his defense, which that's true too, as Brett Gardner hit 2 hot shots against him that were both caught by your American League Player of the Week, Justin Smoke. And by the way, your National League Player of the Week was Adam Eaton by Major League Baseball Network. You have the Phillies and the Mets tonight. Matt Harvey's season debut against Ben Lively. I can't wait to see how Harvey looks tonight and see if he's poised in his contract year. You have the Nationals and the Braves with A.J. Cole against Julio Teheran. Teheran pitched in the opener with a no decision, 6.35 ERA, 3 strikeouts, and the whip of 1.24. Those are ugly numbers. He did not have a good opener. You have the Cardinals at the Brewers again with Jack Flaherty making his first start of the season. And you have Chase Sanderson going for the Brewers, who pitched in the opener. He had a no decision, a 0 ERA, 6 strikeouts, and a whip of .67. So he's off to a solid start. You have the Orioles at the Astros again with Mike Wright going for the Orioles and Justin Verlander going for the Astros. Verlander got the win in the opener, has a 0 ERA, 5 strikeouts, and the whip of 1. And that's pretty gaudy for Verlander. You have the Dodgers at the Diamondbacks. The Dodgers looking for a bounce back here. You have Clayton Kershaw against Zach Godley. Kershaw 0-1 with the 1.5 ERA, 7 strikeouts, and a whip of 1.67. Don't forget he gave up the lone home run to Joe Panik in the opener. If not for that, he maybe would have a no decision, or I don't really want to say a win because I don't want to discard what Ty Block did on opening day. You have the Indians at the Angels on ESPN with Josh Tomlin going against Garrett Richards. Richards wasn't great in the opener. No decision with a 7.2 ERA, 4 strikeouts with a whip of 2. And this game, I like the Angels to bounce back here as well as Richards. I think this is a low-scoring game. I think Tomlin will pitch well. So give me the Angels. You have the Rangers and the Athletics. Cole Hamels going up against Kendall Graveman. This was the 2 guys that started on opening day for each team. Hamels did not have a good showing and took the loss. 4.76 ERA, 7 strikeouts with a whip of 1.59. Kendall Graveman got a no decision. He wasn't that good in the opener. The 9 ERA, 1 strikeout and a whip of 1.4. As both of these teams look to get right. And you have the Rockies and the Padres. San Diego's looking for their first win of the season. Tyson Ross is taking the ball for the Padres. And taking the ball for the Rockies is Kyle Freeland. That's your Major League Baseball slate for today. You have Royals Tigers underway right now. You have the NHL with some big games tonight, but I'll go over last night's games first. The Maple Leafs defeated the Sabres 5-2. They're now 48-25-7. The Sabres dropped to 25-42-12. Andreas Johnson scored first for the Maple Leafs, make it 1-0, his second of the year. In the second period on the power play, Sam Reinhart's 24th of the year makes it 1-1. About 2.5 minutes later, Austin Matthews on the power play, his 32nd of the year, 2-1 Toronto. 3-1 Toronto, 2 minutes later on a goal by William Nylander. And Nylander scored again with 3 minutes after that goal. His 19th of the year made it 4-1. Third period, Sabres get within 2 on a power play goal by Jason Palmaville, his 14th of the year, to make it 4-2. And Austin Matthews put the game away on the power play, his 33rd goal of the year, to make it 5-2 final. The Jets defeated the Senators 6-5 as they improved to 49-20-10. Ottawa drops to 27-41-11. Andrew Copp, 7th of the year, 1-0 Winnipeg, 2-0 Winnipeg on a goal by Josh Morrissey, his 7th of the year, 2-0. 3-0 Winnipeg on a goal by Blake Wheeler, 3-0. 3-1 Thomas Chabot put Ottawa on the board. Second period, Matt Duchene on the power play, his 25th of the year, makes it 3-2. Brandon Tanev makes it 4-2 Jets on a shorthanded goal, his 8th of the year. Thomas Chabot's 9th of the year, his 2nd of the game, 4-3. Blake Wheeler about a minute later, his 22nd of the year, making 5-3 Jets. Third period, Christian Wallen's 1st of the year, makes it 5-4. 10 minutes later, Matthew Perrialt, 17th of the year on a power play, makes it 6-4 Jets. And Matt Duchene on the power play, his 26th of the year, makes it 6-5 Ottawa. Or 6-5 Winnipeg, as the Jets hold on. Give the Sens credit, they did not give up in that game. The Panthers defeated the Hurricanes 3-2, as they improved to 40-30-8. Carolina drops to 35-34-11. Trevor Van Riemsdyk's 3rd of the year makes it 1-0 Carolina. Florida ties it up on a goal by Mackenzie Weegar, 2nd of the year, 1-1. 2-1 Panthers on a goal by Evgeny Dadonov, his 27th of the year on the power play. Second period, Derek Ryan's 15th of the year ties it up 2 apiece for Carolina. And in the third period, the game winner, Alex Petrovic's 2nd of the year to make Florida a 3-2 winner. The Capitals defeated the Blues 4-2 as they improved to 48-25-7. The Blues dropped to 40-30, 43-30-6. The first period, Vlad Tarasenko put the Blues on the board, 1-0. Here come the Capitals. Second period, Nick Backstrom, 1-1, his 20th of the year. 2 minutes later, Alex Chason's 9th of the year, 2-1 Washington. Andrei Burakovsky's 11th of the year, 3-1 Washington. The Blues get within a goal on a Patrick Berglund's 14th. Then on the third period, Alex Ovechkin's 46th of the year on the power play, make it 4-2 Washington. Ovechkin has to be mentioned as a candidate for the Hart Trophy. The Wild defeated the Oilers 3-0. The Wild are 44-25-10. The Oilers dropped to 34-40-6. Key injury for the Wild, Ryan Suter. Foot surgery, out for the season. That's a big loss for Minnesota. But Minnesota did not suffer a loss on the hockey ice yesterday. Zach Parise, first period, 14th of the year, 1-0. Parise again, his 15th of the year in the second period, 2-0 Minnesota. And then the third period, Joel Eckersenek, his 6th of the year to make it 3-0 Wild final. And the Kings defeated the Avalanche 3-1 as they improved to 44-28-8. The Avalanche dropped to 42-29-9. The Avs lost their goalie, Seliva Varlamov, for the season. That's a big loss for the Avs and will probably cost them either in the playoffs or preventing them from making the playoffs. First period, here come the Kings. Torrey Mitchell, 6th of the year, 1-0. Justin Brown, shorthanded, his 24th of the year, 2-0. Second period, Alexander Kerfoot on the power play, his 19th of the year, makes it 2-1. Third period, Kyle Clifford, 6th of the year, 3-1 Kings. That was your final. And that was your slate for Monday. Tonight you have the Rangers at the Devils as the Devils inch closer to clinching a playoff berth. The Flyers at the Islanders. The Flyers have to win that game to keep pace in that wild card and Metro races. Red Wings, Blue Jackets. Columbus needs that game. Jets, Canadians. Winnipeg still has a chance to catch Nashville, although I don't think they'll do it. The Bruins at the Lightning. This game should be on national TV, but it's not. This game could very well decide the Atlantic Division, as the Bruins are 2 points ahead of Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay were to win this game, they'd be tied. The Predators at the Panthers. Coyotes at the Flames. The Golden Knights at the Canucks. And the Stars at the Sharks is your slate tonight. No national TV games on the NHL slate tonight. NBA games tonight, you have the Raptors at the Cavs in the battle of Eastern Conference contenders. Too bad this game isn't on national TV. The last time these two teams met in Cleveland, the Raptors had the halftime lead and scored 79 on the Cavs in the first half. The Raptors fell apart. LeBron had an MVP moment in the second half of that game as the Cavs prevailed against the Raptors. You have the Nets at the Sixers. You have the Hawks at the Heat. The Magic at the Knicks. The Hornets at the Bulls. The Wizards at the Rockets, which should be a national game. Houston has everything locked up. Don't rule out the Wizards winning there. as the Rockets might sit some guys in that game. The Celtics at the Bucks is interesting. That should be on national TV as Giannis Antetokounmpo plays against the Celtics. As the Celtics are right there at the Raptors, 2 back of them for that 1 seed. If Boston were able to win and Toronto were to lose to Cleveland, which is a distinct possibility, then Boston would be within a game of the Raptors. Look out for that. But this game is the real game that belongs on TNT, and that's the Warriors at the Thunder. That's a huge game. Oklahoma City's won 2 out of the 3 against the Warriors this season. The last time these 2 teams met, the Warriors blew out the Thunder at Oracle Arena. And there's a brawl with Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and Draymond Green involved. Kevin Durant returns to Oklahoma City. There might be a ton of boos in that game. I think Oklahoma City wins. Russell Westbrook has been outstanding since the All-Star break. He's going to make an All-NBA team. I like the Thunder in this game, and don't rule out a Warriors win here as Klay Thompson's back for the Warriors, Durant's back, as Stephen Curry's still out. The Trailblazers at the Mavs, the Pacers at the Nuggets. Big game for Denver as they try to catch Minnesota for the 8th seed. And then you have the Lakers at the Jazz. You have the Kings at the Suns. And the second TNT game is the Spurs at the Clippers, as the Clippers absolutely have to have this game if they want to stay in this race. But the Spurs are playing really good basketball right now. So give me the Spurs on the road. Barely. I won't be surprised if the Clippers were able to pull this off, as the Clippers have given Spurs fits in the past, but that was with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. They're no longer on the team. The Marcus Aldridge leads the way for the Spurs here. All right, that's it for today as I got everything done. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything for you guys. And I'm going to go over the standings and all the sports as well. And also tomorrow I'll be back with my NFL mock draft. That would be my 6th mock draft. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.